Hello my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with the latest in deck technology. And for today's deck tech, we're going to be covering our oh so wonderful series of devotion decks. Now, normally when you see these kinds of decks, you expect something to be big and splashy. But this time around, we're going to try to combine together three things in one go. We're talking elves, we're talking collected company, and we're talking, of course, devotion. But is all of this even possible on a budget? Well, you're about to find out right now. We're talking about a budget that only uses in the main deck 7 rares total. And of course, we'll have a couple extra in the sideboard, which are not necessary. But again, you only need 7 total in the main deck. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's cover exactly what we're trying to do today. So looking at the first set of our cards here, again, this is just an elvish tribal deck going into collected company and then taking advantage of Nykthos trying to nix to try to get to our finisher, which we'll explain in a second. But otherwise, in the 1-drop slot, we have Elvish Mystic and Land of War Elves as our main mana dorks. You've seen what these cards do. They just help us produce mana and they just help us cast out our bigger stuff. Land of War Stalker, along with Attended Socialite going into 2-drop slot, basically will pump each other up whenever another creature enters the battlefield under our control. Where the Stalker gets +1/+0, Attended Socialite gets +1/+1. Dwaynian's Elite is here because it creates for us 2 creatures as long as we have a control of another elf, so it creates basically 2 for 1, pumping up Attended Socialite even more, and Land of War Stalker even faster as well. Elvish Visionary going into Land of War Visionary, both of them help us draw cards when they enter the battlefield, with Land of War Visionary of course allowing us to also become a mana dork, just a little bit beefier than the Land of War and the Elvish Mystic. Herald King of Skemfar is mostly here just because it helps us dig through our deck to grab out another elf. Nothing really specific we're looking for. Again, it's just another copy that helps us get more card advantage. Okran Assassin is going to be one of our ways of getting through our damage no matter what, because when this creature attacks, all creatures able to block this assassin have to do so, which allows all of our elves to basically get free damage in as long as they have to all block the assassin. Shadow of the Pack is the main reason why we're even here in the first place, because when this thing enters the battlefield, our opponent loses life equal to the number of elves we control. If we have nothing on the battlefield, this card does absolutely nothing. All of our cards actually are only 3 drops, and there's a reason why, and you probably may have already guessed, we're using Collected Company. This sweet card allows us, of course, to look through 6 cards at our library and put 2 of those creature cards with a mana value of 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. So basically, we want to try to get out as many elves in the early game, try to get in some early damage. Hopefully we can then use Collected Company to bring out a Shaman of the Pact and then just trigger that off to drain our opponent out even faster and then finish them off with a little bit of extra damage. However, if we still can't get there with even that, we have of course the backup plan, which was a card that no one actually remembers. Klothys design right here is actually the star of the show. We only have 2 copies of the deck, but that's all we need. This 6 mana sorcery allows our creatures to get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is our devotion to green. So as you may have already figured out right now, once we have enough mana dorks out, once we basically have Collected Company to bring out a couple more extra elves, if our opponent is tapped out, we then of course use Klothys design to pump up our team to a huge amount and then do one final swing to finish off our opponent and ensure we get to victory. As far as the land base is concerned, we're going to be utilizing 9 forests, 3 Nykthos Shrine of Nyx, Secluded Courtyard, and Unclaimed Territory. Now I know it may look a little strange having these 2 creature cards out here, but hear me out for 1 second. Just in case we have to cast for actual value Shaman of the Pact, Okran Assassin, or Herald King of Skemfar, that's the main reason why we have these creature lands. But otherwise, that's the deck for you in a nutshell. It's super easy to build, super easy to play. As for your sideboard, if you do want to play this in best of 3, we're going to have 2 copies of Tormod's Crypt as your cheap graveyard hate. Song of Freyalise is here just to make sure that all of our creatures can become mana dorks, so that way we can cast everything we need to. And of course, if we get to part 3 of this, we can put a +1/+1 counter on each creature when control, which will then give them a bunch of extra abilities, Vigilance, Trample, and Indestructible, to hopefully finish off our opponent with a free swing. For Diamond Mare, we're just casting this to make sure that we can gain some life back in case we have to deal with burn decks out there. Blanchwood Armor is just to pump up one of our creatures to get a massive amount. We don't have that many forests to work with, but Blanchwood Armor will still give our creature just enough pump to make them beefy blockers. An extra copy of Okran Assassin if we need to. 2 copies of Heroic Intervention to protect our entire game plan if we have to deal with wraths. Reclamation Sage is going to be here just to destroy artifacts and enchantments when they enter the battlefield. Elven Ambush is here just to create a bunch of extra creature tokens so we can go super wide. Binding of the Old Gods is mostly here just to get rid of any planeswalkers, not necessarily for any artifacts or enchantments, but it's helpful for that kind of stuff. Digs out a forest, and of course we can go super aggressive with giving all of our creatures Death Touch. However, this also goes hand in hand with Poison Tip Archer. This 4 mana Elf Archer has Reach and Death Touch. However, when another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So as you may have have figured out right now, we're utilizing Binding of the Old Gods and Poison Tip Archer hand in hand to make sure that if we have to, we can do one final desperate swing against our opponent and hopefully drain them out of life. Is our version actually even a decent way to start building Mono Green Devotion or even Elvish Tribal? We're about to find out. But before we continue, if you do like any of the content that I do, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck decks, and so much more. Okay, everybody, so here we go. We're going to be playing our Mono Green Devotion deck with Elves. And let's look at our hand right now and look at, all right, we've got a really solid hand here. We've got our Forest. We get to tap that to bring in Intended Socialite, Dwayne's Elite. Yeah, this is really solid. Let's keep this. Okay, and here you go. And ooh, all right, we got Shaman of the Pact already. This is awesome. This is basically the dream. Okay, so Elvish Mystic, we then put down Shrine Nykthos. We can then go Land of War Visionary if we need to. And okay, we've got 2 Shaman of the Pacts, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so next, Nykthos, Shrine of Nyx. We'll then bring in Land of War Visionary. Opponent. Joint Exploration. Okay, interesting. So they look like they're going to be a Lands Matter deck. Interesting. Draw a card. Okay, so we do have some mana now we can work with here. We're going to try to keep building up all of our stuff. And okay, so we got Land of War Stalker. So with that, tapping our elves. We don't want to really do too much at this point except just keep drawing, hopefully into some more lands. Hopefully we can get to the other stuff that we need. Getting one more land here would be sweet. Didn't get it, but that's okay. Let's put down Land of War Stalker. So we're going to see if we can try to set up for a turn right here. Also Sproutling. Okay, let's see. What does this card do again? Oh, okay, interesting. So in any case, let's go ahead and put down our Forest. Now we have a lot of mana to work with now. This is great. So with that, tap everything. So now we're building up what we need. We have Land of War Stalker. Pump. We have Dwayne's Elite. This gives our Land of War Stalker enough pump. So now Land of War Stalker is going to be able to swing here for a decent chunk. Bring in one more creature. If they block, that's perfectly fine. Alright, no problem. We're basically just trying to build up enough elves so we can just kind of drain out our opponent in a couple turns right here. This would be great. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would bring in 8, then 9. Carousel. Okay, interesting. We then, on Elf, tap Nykthos, get a ton of mana. Attended Socialite. Pumps up our other elves. So they will do some more damage. We will then bring in Secluded Courtyard. More pump. Drain our opponent out. They're down to 11. We don't have enough, unfortunately, to bring in our other Shaman of the Pack, but that's okay. Mass swing here. They only could block one creature, so it's probably going to be the Attended Socialite. There you go, everybody. Look at that. They're down to 1, and we've got another Shaman of the Pack. This is perfect. No blocks. Doesn't really matter at this point. They can actually even bump our whole board out. We could still win. The only thing that stops us at this point is if we get... Oh, actually, this is fine. This is fine, everybody. This is exactly what we got in your core. All right, and there you go, everybody. That's the deck for you. So as you see right there, I know this wasn't a ranked match, but you saw that's the dream. This was perfect. Okay, everybody, so here we go. We're playing our Mono Green Devotion deck, the budget version that doesn't require all the crazy stuff that the actual regular version has. So let's see what we have in our hand. Okay, so we've got quite a few Land of War Stalkers. We don't have any of our mana dorks, but we do have enough lands to cast everything. Shaman of the Pact is available here. I think we can keep this. Let's go ahead and do so, and we're going to see if we can just try to go off here with just some early beatdowns. Alright, so they got a Stomping Grounds, Pelt Collector. Okay, this might be the Mono Green... Actually, might be the Gruul Stompy deck. Let's see if it is. Okay, so we're going to play our Forest first. We have Land of War Stalker coming down, and we pass the turn. We have 2 Nykthos, which is not exactly what we want, but that's okay. We can try to make it work. I'm going to put down Lair of the Hydra. Burning Tree Emissary. Oh boy, are they going to start going off here? Gallia of the Endless Dance. Okay, interesting. No blocks. Okay, we draw. Okay, so we do have another Forest, which is good. Bring that in. We'll bring in our attendant socialite. That pump up our Land of War Stalker. Unfortunately, we're not going to attack here. It's tempting to do so, but we will lose the devotion that we're going to want, so we can just keep casting other things that we need. Help Collector again. They do not attack. Interesting. Okay, so with that, put down Secluded Courtyard on Elf. Land of War Stalker number 2. All of our creatures get a little pump. But again, we can't attack just yet. It's tempting, but it's not what we want. Help Collector number 3. Okay, interesting. Alright, so this is actually a pretty decent spot to be in. We have a lot of mana now to work with here. We have Shaman of the Pact, but we're going to wait because we need to Collected Company off here. Opponent's going to go swinging, so they will discard. Ooh, they randomly had to just throw away their Collected Company. That's interesting. Okay. So let's do our Collected Company and see what we get. Okay, so nothing really major here, but we do have a Land of War Stalker, and we have one of our mana dorks. Okay, so we get some pump here. Woo! We get a lot of pump here. It is so tempting right now to try to block all of this right now with what we have, but we got to be really careful with what we're blocking here. So with this, let's go ahead and I think we're just going to have to block just one creature here. We'll block one Pelt Collector. We're down to 10, but that's okay. We bring down another Land of War Elves. Okay, so let's see. What can we do here? So let's go ahead and tap this Nykthos. Make a lot of mana. Dwinian's Elite. Everything triggers off. Get another round of triggers. But we got to be really careful here because we don't want to lose on the backswing. Nykthos number 2 coming in. We will tap again. Collected Company. See if we get a big hit here. Okay, so we've got Shaman of the Pact coming in, and we got Herald King of Skemfar. Actually, the Dwinian's Elite. Okay, so look at all those triggers, everybody. Woo! So many triggers on the stack. Our opponent is going to have no point here but to actually block. Oh my god, the triggers go crazy. We should have enough now where we could be able to block here. We should actually have enough here where we can actually swing and hopefully... Yes! There we go, everybody. That's how you do it. That's how you want to play with a deck. Not too bad, right? Okay, everybody, so here we are. We're going to be playing our mono green, well, greenish devotion deck. And hopefully we're going to see if we can try to overwhelm our opponent with elves to get to victory. So let's see what we have in our hand. Okay, so we got 2 Collect Company, which is really nice. We've got Unclaimed Territory, Nykthos. So this is actually not too bad. If we pull off everything carefully, we can Collected Company and cascade into some more elves. So let's go ahead. Let's keep this. Okay, so this one's also a best of 3 match. So let's see if we can actually go off here with our best of 3s. Let's see what our opponent's trying to play also. Okay. Is it going to be a control deck? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, everybody. So, Unclaimed Territory. Calling out Elf. Land of War Elves coming in. So from here, our turn 3 play is going to be a Land of War Visionary, so we can draw a card. Hopefully we can get some more lands. Okay, so with this, let's go to Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. Land of War Visionary. Aw, opponent, don't be like that. Okay, so they can put down the land. All right, so that's set us back a turn, but that's perfectly fine. We're still going to try to make our way through this. We just need to make a bunch more elves. At this point, I am going to expect the Wrath to come in, so we're going to have to be a little prepared for that. Okay, opponent. Tap land, which is good. Temporary lock. It's fine, everybody. It's fine. We're going to try to find a way to rebuild from this. Okay, Tenant Socialite. Okay, so our opponent is definitely playing the control deck, which is going to be a problem for us, but we're going to try to find our way to get through this. We just need to find our extra lands, and hopefully we can just rebuild quickly. Again, our biggest advantage is we do have 2 collected companies. So we could just get a couple more lands, even if they keep blowing up our stuff. Oh, we don't have lands. It's all right. Just get in that early damage, everybody. Counting down to 17. Memory Deluge. At the very least, we kind of know what we're going to want to try to bring in sideboard-wise on the next game. Okay, so we got a secluded courtyard, which is fine. That does allow us to do some more things here. So with that, tap for green. Elvish Visionary. All right, come on, land. We need another land. If we can get another land, even if they blow us up, collected companies can still keep us in this fight. Perfect. Okay. We're going to go swinging. They're down to 13. They're going to scry. No, they're definitely going to be trying to look for some more of their removal. Okay, another island. Nothing yet. Interesting. Okay, so we got a forest. So with that, let's just swing with what we have. We don't want to keep casting stuff because we don't want to get counterspelled. If they have things like Absorb, okay, they have the Wandering Emperor. That's what they had.
Anyone who harms my people must pretend to keep.
Do we do it? Do we cast a collected company here? We'll just let it go. We're down to 10. We lose a little bit of our devotion, but that's okay. Ooh, this is tempting right now. I could consider us doing this, but they might also have a wrath still. Oof. This is a tough turn. We get too eager, we might lose everything, so we're going to just be careful. They make another token, so they're trying to keep up their blockers for the time being. There you go, swinging. We'll let it go. Let's do it here and see what happens. Actually, hold on. Collected company. Do you have the counter? There it was, I figured. That's fine, everybody. We're going to have to force it out anyway. Unclaimed territory on Elf. We will Dwinian's Elite. Make a token. Okron Assassin. We can't hold back for everybody, so we're going to have to see if we can try to go off here. Go swinging. Opponent blocks. So this probably means we might get Wrath. We'll have to wait and see, everybody. Okay, they're scrying. Please, no Wrath. Okay. So we're still in this. They cash it in, so that probably means they might have another one. They go swinging. No blocks. We're down to 16. Okay, so this is a big turn for us here. How do we do this? We have a Shaman of the Pack, and we have a collected company. Okay, everybody, so I'm probably going to do something a little wild here. We're going to have to swing. Okron Assassin will force our opponent to block what they have. Then we're going to just try to collected company our way out of this. There it is. So, let's see. Collected company. Can we make our way out of this? Okay, so we got Shaman of the Pack, Land of War Visionary. There we go. Triggers go off. Is that enough? Is that enough? What's your last card, opponent? Ooh, Otawara. Okron Assassin does go away. We do draw a card. They go back up to 2 life if they go down. You can only do it a tapped creature, opponent. Okay, so they make another samurai, which is fine. Our opponent doesn't know we actually have another Shaman of the Pack waiting in the wings. We lose some of our creatures, which is unfortunate, but that's okay, everybody. We're still in this. They make another samurai token. Shard Typhoon for full power. Wow. Okay, so that might be a bit of a problem for us, but that's okay. Down to 14. Okay, so how do we do this? Okay, so Elvish Mystic. Going off here. Tap here. Okron Assassin. No! Oh, hold on. Oh, jeez. Auto tapper. Ah! Okay. This is why sometimes everyone, I hate Arena. They auto-tap the wrong way, so we just lost out on all that mana we could have cast. It's fine, it's fine. We'll make our way out of this still. Okay, so Attendant Socialite. We get aggressive here. We have to then force through the rest of the damage. Even if they have everything the way they have it, it's fine. So the board's clear. We have Okron Assassin, so even if they make a Shark Typhoon, they have to all block it. They have no other cards in hand. They can dig if they want to, but that's a lot of mana they have to invest. So they got 7 on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 9. 9 mana. What's your last card here now, opponent? Wow, they cash in the Samurai. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. Is that enough for them? Memory Deluge for full price. It only makes a 4/4 Shark, though, but we can still force through damage. Okay. I don't think they have any way of removing... Okay, so we're in a good spot here, everybody. Okay, so with that, let's nick those. 5 mana. Attendant Socialite. Pump and pump. Shaman of the Pact. It triggers. More triggers going off. Fateful Absence. Alright, okay, interesting. That gets rid of it, but we still have a lot of attackers. Down to 2. Let's just trigger this off anyway. Clue. Draw a card. Llanowar Stalker. Okay, so we get a little bit more pump after that. They have to block. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're down to like 1 here. Oh my goodness. If they have a Wrath, I'm gonna cry. Teferi, that's not enough. That will make more stupid sharks, but we still have threats on the board. Okay, another land. They need to make a ton of tokens here if they want to try to stop our next swing. Okay, so they're ending their turn here. Okay, so we get a Llanowar Elves. This does trigger off our creatures. Makes them beefy again. So this again puts our opponent back at a level where they need to block everything. Okay, I'm a little nervous here, but we gotta swing. Shark Typhoon. They have 4 mana open, and they have 2 cards left. March of Otherworldly Light. Oh my god, we actually got there. We actually got there, we got him! And there you have it, everybody. So that was our mono green devotion deck for you on a budget. So you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Is this something that you're interested in playing? Are you someone that was kind of curious about mono green devotion but don't want to spend all the mythics and rares right now? Well, you let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. And also, you'll kind of notice I cut that best of 3 because, well, actually, I'll just show you the footage right now. So as you see, our opponent just immediately gave up. So we didn't really have a 2 or 3 to that best of 3. But I still wanted to keep that because that was a pretty sweet turnout for our deck, despite the fact that the odds against us were really there. We actually somehow managed to pull it off. Now, normally also I would give you what I would personally say to upgrade into, but as you see on screen right here, it's not the most exciting build. But again, this is basically if you just want to go all out with your mono green devotion deck, you're literally just playing the actual top tier version of the deck. But basically, again, you could do that. If you do want to stick to, say, like elves, same thing. Just throw in all the rare elves, which is basically all the lords that are available in Explorer. But overall, if you do want to play the super powerful version that you just saw, if you just want to play maybe Elf Tribal, maybe you just want to stick to Collect Company, even if you just want to stick to the most basic version of the deck, no matter which version of green you want to do with Devotion, it's without a doubt the strongest color out of all of the Devotion decks out there. But regardless, however you want to play it, if you do like this style of gameplay, if you want to, and if you do like it, you can then upgrade into the bigger versions you just saw, and I assure you, no matter which version you do play, you will not be disappointed. That's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching, everyone. And just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later.